Hey there, folks. Chris Holman here, Nine Line Ministries. I said I would go live today. Um, so here I am doing a little live stream real quick. I want to share a story of something that happened to me um, last night, yesterday and last night. And so, as the title says, integrity, keeping our word. Um, I apologize for the shakiness of the video here. I'm holding my cell phone. So I found what I thought was an amazing deal online through Facebook. It wasn't through my Facebook, but we had found what we thought was an amazing deal on a puppy just like our other dog, and it was, I don't know, about 3.5 hour drive away, something like that. It was right on the Kentucky West Virginia border near Ashland, Kentucky, and we agreed on the price. We agreed where we were going to meet, and we drove. So we got in my truck and out we went. We got about 30 minutes away, and we're message. The seller messages us and tells us that um, she can't do it. She can't sell the dog. We offer more money. Sorry, can't. So we turn around and go home. Now, mind you, we spent a total of probably about 7 hours in my truck. We didn't get home until early this morning. I mean, I was really close to needing toothpicks to prop open my eyelids. So by the time we got back, I was so tired. And before we even made it home, I think by the time we got to Lexington, or passing Lexington, Kentucky, um, she had updated, the seller had updated the ad or whatever in the group, asking for, I don't know, wasn't even that much more. It was like $150 more than what originally we had agreed upon, and only $50 more than our second offer. Of course, I was a little upset about the whole thing, right? If you give your word to somebody, you keep it, right? Someone who would lie to you, will manipulate you, will steal from you, would stab you in the back. It used to be a time where, your word was really all that you really had, and you wouldn't break your word. That was the way my granddad, that's the way my grandpa lived. It's the way I was raised. You give your word, you keep it. So, Devon is here. You just came in. Um, I was just talking about how, integrity, right? The story about how we had agreed upon getting this dog. It was about a 3.5 hour drive. We get 30 minutes out, and suddenly she can't sell it, says she can't sell it. We turn around and come back, and by the time we get about to Lexington, Kentucky, about halfway home, that person had updated their ad, uh, asking for $150 more than what we'd agreed upon, and only $50 more than what our second offer was. Integrity, right? You give somebody your word, you keep it. Texans know about integrity, yeah. Country folk do. Well, typically, I guess. Maybe not all country folk, but where I come from, anyway, right? The Bible tells us, yeah, God will deal with her shenanigans. Yeah. Um, you're right. You're right with that. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, right? So it's done. We had prayed on the way down there, if God, if this is your will, you know, I guess it wasn't God's will for us to have that dog. And maybe there's a reason. Maybe all of that happened because God was protecting us and they weren't good people and something bad could have happened, right? I mean, there's a silver lining that you can see in just about anything. But the principle here is, telling the truth, keeping to your word, uh, doing what is right, morally, legally, all of that, right? I mean, the Bible tells us over and over again, um, that we are to be truthful, we're to speak truth. Um, it's really a sad state of affairs where what was once normal morality is now rare. People no longer have integrity. People, I say in general, some people, many people still do, but a lot of people don't. They don't have integrity. They're not truthful. They're manipulative. They're out for themselves. They're materialistic. They put the dollar ahead of people. That's backwards. It's the opposite of what it should be. People come first. Relationships come before finances. I'm not saying that everyone should, uh, you know, just toss care to the wind and focus on people. I'm not saying, I mean, you gotta worry about yourselves and you gotta worry about your family. However, your family, your friends, your neighbors, people that you meet are much more important than the money in your pocket. Devana says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Isaiah, was that 5:20? Yeah, Isaiah 5:20. So true. So very true. So, because I got home so late, early this morning, um, and I crashed as soon as I walked in the door, just crashed. I dropped her off and then came here to the apartment. I'm just now getting up and getting going, which isn't good because I got so much to do still today. Move out inspection is tomorrow, though I don't expect to have everything out by then. 7 hours is about what we spent in in the truck driving. About 7 hours. There's the cost of gas. Um, there's a wear and tear on my truck. I mean, man, we could have almost drove to her parents' house in Maryland in the amount of time that we spent in the truck. Um, but I also look at this as a learning experience, I guess. Um, whenever you agree to buy something online or whatever through to meet up with somebody, there's always that risk, right? You don't know these people, so learning experience. Be a little bit more cautious. So integrity, integrity matters. Kind of come back to the topic. Integrity matters. Um, if you're going to say if you say you're going to do something, you do it. If you agree to something, you keep it. So she was pretty heartbroken on the way home, pretty upset. And of course, that kind of broke my heart, right? I will say that I have struggled not to rail on people when they were obviously wrong and did wrong. Uh, yeah, it is uh, it's difficult to not um, give someone a piece of your mind, and sometimes you need to. Sometimes you need to, but there's a tactful way to do it. He has given me peace. Yeah, there's a tactful, peaceful way to go about it. You don't need to raise your voice. You don't need to, speculate. Just state the facts. This is what you did. This is wrong. You need to rethink how you're doing. But I've got whoever this person is. You give loving rebuke, no yell. Amen. Amen. I guess this goes into a good topic of how to deal with that, right? So one, we're to forgive. We're to forgive, right? There's no question there. I forgive her. Whoever this person is, I forgive her. Whatever's going on in her life, whatever's gone on in the past to make her this way, right? Personal responsibility. She needs to take responsibility for her actions. And if she hasn't already, one day she will. But how do we deal with conflict with people? What is a Christian way to do it? Well, the Bible tells us that, well, for one, we're supposed to love all people, right? And that the Bible tells us that love is patient and love is kind, love is long suffering, love is slow to anger. That's how we should conduct ourselves in our life. When we, and look, I'm not saying I'm this way all the time, right? I'm only human. I'm not perfect. I never claim to be perfect. No one is perfect. Only Christ is perfect. I just remember pigs get fed and hogs get slaughtered. Yeah. So when we are confronted with someone who has wronged us, who is antagonistic towards us, what's that saying? Kill them with kindness, right? If the situation needs, you address it lovingly. That loving rebuke, like you said, Devana. I'm sorry, but this just isn't. How you're treating me just isn't right. I'm not going to stand for it. You call it out. They then have an opportunity to recognize and apologize, and if they don't, you don't have to allow yourself to be taken advantage of and abused. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, one thing I don't like about here on the phone is it the comments disappear after a few seconds. If he shall hear thee, uh, thou hast gained thy brother. Amen. Yeah. Um, I would say this is just me. There are a lot of things that aren't really worth um, my time, right? Things that someone may do or say, they're not really worth getting upset over or even calling out. I mean, I'm not anyone's doormat, but not everything is, not everything that someone may say or do that may upset me is really worth even addressing, right? Um, right? I mean, a perfect example of just some menial thing, even if you're having a bad day. So you go, I don't know, you're at a fast food restaurant and you're waiting in line. Somebody comes in and cuts in front of you. Well, maybe they're in a hurry. Maybe they're in a hurry. Is that really a real reason to get upset? You might say, hey, I'm already in line here. Um, well, there's no need to really have a big confrontation over it, right? There's no need to let that person ruin your day. Because see, that's what happens when you let someone get your goat, right? You allow someone to get you riled up. You're allowing that person to control you to ruin your day. Not everything is really worthy of attention, even if it does aggravate you. A good measure, I think, of whether something is worth being angry about is it going to matter in a week from now? Is it going to matter a week from now? If not, why get mad? Is it something you can control? It, if it's something you can't control, why are you focusing on it? Why are you worrying about it? Why are you getting angry? If you can't control it, and you can't control other people, right? When you learn to kind of just let things go, to just let them go, give it to God, you'll live a much happier life. Much, much happier. Not everything is worth your time and attention. So, I guess here, I'm sorry, I'm getting text messages from my mom. Um, there's a funeral coming up. Um, so this Sunday, I'll try to put something together, but um, I may just have to be on my phone here, just have another talk like this. I could probably do this probably a little bit every day, rest of the month if I've got the time. No promises. Again, I got so much going on. I got to finish breaking down the kitchen and get all of that over to the house today. And then I want to get started here in the bedroom and get it going. There's not really much in the living room to go. Um, my office, some of it's already been torn down and taken over. Uh, I should be sometime next week fully moved in. Should be. So there's that. This is not something I want to do all in like one day or one weekend because it's really just me, and I don't want to get all stressed out over it. There's no reason to. So I gave myself plenty of time. I mean, I closed on the house on March 1st, and I went ahead and paid the rent for March 1st so that I had the rest of the whole month to get all this done. Of course, there's been a bit of procrastinating. That's my fault. So, integrity, keep your word. Be a man and a woman of your word. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. People will respect you for it. And if you don't, no one will trust you. Trust is something that if you lose, it is very difficult, if not sometimes impossible, to earn back. Keep your word. Hope everybody has a great day. May you walk with God, and may He keep and comfort you as you go forward and guide you as you may go, wherever He may take you. Our God is a God of love.